Comes in the morning light. Yeah, I'll keep you safe. I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go.
Hey everyone, welcome to Big J's World. This is Big J, and here I have Steffi. So Steffi, if you want to introduce yourself, how long you've been on the Booktok, so on and so forth, all the things.
Yeah, so hey everyone. So I'm Steffi, or Read with Steffi as people know me on Booktok. And I have been on Booktok not that long actually. I've been on Booktok since March of 2026, so just a few months. And honestly, I'm excited to be there. I feel like I've been there forever with all the friends I've been making on there.
Like I was on TikTok just to be on TikTok to watch stupid videos and stuff. I thought it was like, here comes a new version of Vine. So let's see what stupidities coming through this app. And then just, I picked up a book and started reading, and I blame my wife for that, but I love her so much because she could hear me over there. So my first book was Fairy Tale by Stephen King, and loved it so much. I had to get another Stephen King book, so I got Holly, and Holly was pretty good, and I got another one, and I didn't like it, so I stopped and tried to figure out something else.
Hold on. So is this what got you into Booktok?
Yeah. I just stumbled. I'm like, all right, let me just stop watching stupid videos and actually see if there's someone who would recommend stuff. And I tried and I tried and I tried, and I fell into another book talker. You probably know her. She's Jet. I don't know if you do, but I'll share her profile with you. And she goes on every morning, every evening. But she has a lot of books, and she recommended a couple for me. And I still wasn't really getting it. And then I went to Target and found a Freida McFadden book called The Locked Door.
So I haven't read it, but I've seen it.
It sucked me in so bad. It was a good book, but wasn't like I wouldn't consider that's like her best book she read. But I got sucked into thrillers. What was like the first book that got you sucked into like book talk and reading? Or did you read like before, left it, and picked it back up?
Yeah, so I have a very demanding job, so I don't read as much, I would say, as like people on Booktok. I'm a slower reader because I'm very limited on my time. But, one day I had started scrolling on Booktok and I saw this hype around Daggermouth, and I immediately ran to buy it, especially because I had heard she'd been traditionally published and I wanted the original cover. So I ran out and I bought the book, and I do think that it was worth the hype that everybody was giving it. And so as I was reading it, and it was like my first book of the year that I had read, I started in March, right? And I was so hyped about it, excited to be reading again. And it's a dystopian book, and I love dystopian books. I mean, practically what got me into reading, So I fell in love with it, immediately wanted to tell people what I felt about it. My first video ever was me talking about Daggermouth, and I just wanted to be able to connect with people who understood how captivated I was by it. And then more importantly, I wanted people to know what I thought about it. I was hoping somebody wanted to listen.
Pretty sure everybody will listen. I go on, so I went on this book spree and trying to find different things to read, at this point I've just been stuck on thrillers. So I read most of the library of Freida, then I got into Sherry LaPena, and then I was just stuck on Freida and those two books, those two authors. And then Fourth Wing came out. I'm very hesitant on fantasy. Me personally, not for it, we probably may think differently. I hate the whole aspect of world building. It doesn't really, I don't really care for it. Just give me the story.
I can understand that.
It's for me, I know you need a world build to understand the story, but it's mostly filler for me. I want to get to all right, what's going on?
I get that. I mean, I'm a little bit different in that respect because I love fantasy books. And I think it's where some books fall short for me, obviously, because when you go from reading these massive worlds that are being built by authors, and then you go and sit and read a thriller, sometimes for me, it's not enough because I need the world building. I like that. I like learning about new magic systems and these like cool intricacies of like a new society. Sometimes the other ones fall short for me because there's not enough of that, and that's what I prefer, which is what's so cool about reading, because like everybody has just such different varying tastes, and it's one of the cool things about being on Booktok, because you do read things sometimes that are out of your zone, right? And that can also be very exciting if you're open to it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to do fantasy more often. Be honest, I DNF'd Fourth Wing
Okay.
before even finishing it.
Okay.
And then someone on TikTok told me, you have to finish the book. It gets better. I told that person, you sure it gets better? Like, yes. Just finish the book. You won't regret it. I'm like, okay. And this is when Iron Flame came out. So I did both books back to back. Read Fourth Wing, then read Iron Flame. And it's when they first started doing those black sprayed edges for them. So I got the Christmas version of Fourth Wing, which had the extra chapter with Zayden. And then read Iron Flame. And that person was right. It was a really good book at the end. And I immediately started with Iron Flame. And before I give you my reflection on Iron Flame, what did you think about it?
I mean, I'm wearing a Fourth Wing shirt right now. So I devoured Fourth Wing. I wasn't as lucky as you to have had Iron Flame out at the time, because I was reading them as they were released. So, in natural Yarros fashion, obviously I was left waiting. So that's rough. And then when I read Iron Flame, I mean, I loved it. I liked it more than the first book. I couldn't, obviously not to give away any spoilers, but I could not believe the way that it ended. I was very emotional. Again, I don't know how much we're able to say, but I felt such an emotional attachment to, let's just say, some of the mythical creatures that are in the book.
I mean, I would say just say it, because they had 2 years to read the book, and they should have read it by now.
I was broken. I was just broken for Sigale, and her reaction to everything in the end. That kind of like broke me. I remember like just rereading. She says these words, "I chose you," and like that killed me. I don't know. I think I like sat there thinking about that for days. I felt like this emptiness, and annoyed that I had to wait for the next book.
All right. So with that being said, I agree with you. It was a very good book. What I hated was the whole bickering between Violet and Zayden throughout the whole book.
Okay, so you don't like the banter.
No. So for one, I hate reading books about high school and college, and it's not my thing. It's my wife's thing. She loves doing that, reading that stuff. It's really something that I'm not particularly fond of, because it just doesn't resonate with me. But loved Fourth Wing. Did not love Iron Flame just for that. It was a great story. You are right. Fantastic story. Hated that part. Onyx Storm, I'm still having issues with it.
What didn't you like?
What
didn't you like about it?
The way that it ended. I hate cliffhangers. If you're going to leave me on a cliffhanger, the worst thing than banter is cliffhangers.
I agree.
I loathe cliffhangers.
Listen, don't read Lee Rivers, because I swear that woman is going to be the death of me.
Like, I read Haunting Adeline, right? At the end of Haunting Adeline, she left me on a cliffhanger, and I was so pissed. I'm like, all right, it's not over yet. This happened, and that next thing happened. And I was listening to it, and then when I heard, thank you for listening to Audible.
Did you want to throw your headphones across the room?
Yes, literally. I wanted to throw it across the hallway. I'm like, this is bullshit. Like, great. I need to read the second book now. Like, literally with Onyx Storm, I was in my office finishing the book. When I turned the page, I'm like, what's going on? Why did she complete one whole page? And there was like 2-3 pages left. They were completely blank. I literally slammed my book on my desk and threw it in my bag. I'm like, this is not right.
Yeah, she has that effect. Yarros has that effect. And what pisses me off about it is, like, it's not a completed cliffhanger. No, well, Onyx Storm felt more of a completed cliffhanger than like the second book. Like Iron Flame's cliffhanger was crazy, because you're like, wait a minute, like what on earth is actually happening right now, right? You want to like pull your hair out. I did feel like Onyx Storm had a little bit of a more completed cliffhanger, if in the sense that you kind of saw what was happening. You don't know what's going to happen in the future, but you kind of, in that moment, you're aware of like everything that was happening. You know, like it wasn't something, I don't think, where it's like, I don't know, as bad as like the first two. I feel like the first two ones were worse, personally. But what pisses me off about it, when somebody has the audacity to have a cliffhanger and then you don't even know when your next book's coming out. Like, how can
Exactly.
you?
She's gonna push out a novella. I'm like, that's not enough.
Nah.
You're not gonna answer what happened with Violet. At least I don't think she is. But she's not gonna answer what happened with Violet and Zayden during that time that she doesn't remember. So if you're not gonna give me that, then I probably don't want it. Probably. Probably still get it just to like see what she wrote. But
I'm definitely gonna get it. I mean, there's like no doubt in my mind I'm gonna get it. But yeah, those things drive me nuts. H.M. Wolf, same thing with Daggermouth. And you know, I will invite you to go watch my review and the things that I said about it.
oh,
But
trust me, I will.
but you know, I may have had some choice words for her because she really pissed me off. But you know, obviously all of this is in good fun because I cannot wait, obviously, for the next book, and that's the goal, isn't it?
Yeah, just keep you wanting more. That's
Yeah.
how they like. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, Lee Rivers, if you are into like dark romance, she she wrote the Edge of Darkness trilogy, which is like Insatiable, Voracious, and Restitution. And the cliffhangers in there make you want to pull your literal hair out because they're not complete. It's like you're in the middle of a scene and then all of a sudden just goes blank, you know? And you're like, are you serious right now? Like, I literally have to go get this book right this second.
I mean, if I wanted that, I would just watch the last episode of Sopranos.
You know, I've never watched Sopranos.
Neither have I. But I've only seen like the last snippet of the final season. It just goes black. I'm like,
That sounds like something that would really piss me off because how many
yeah.
seasons was that?
I think I don't know. They had a lot of seasons of The Sopranos. So which one would you say would be like your favorite book that you would recommend to someone who's starting to read? Like, this is the absolute end all book that you need to read.
Gosh, that's a tough question.
Mhm.
My absolute favorite book? I mean, well, my absolute favorite book that I've ever read in my entire life is Kingdom of Ash, but it's part of the Throne of Glass series. So you have to read all of the books. Kingdom of Ash is the very last one. But it is, listen, do you prefer to go by Jose or Big J? But Big J, that book is everything. I cannot explain it to you. The masterful way that this woman wrote this book. It is just done so perfectly that you fall in love over the course of like 7 books or 8 books. I can't remember how many books are in that series. I think it's 7. You fall in love with so many characters. And somehow everyone who's made an appearance in the entire series shows up in this last book. It is just incredible. It is incredible. I don't have the words to describe how amazing it is. I am literally speechless. But it is a book that not only, like, after I was done reading it, there's nothing that's ever met that expectation for me ever again. And it's a book that I constantly think about, even though I read it years ago. It's been at this point probably 7 years or more. And I still think about it and I still talk about it and still recommend it to everyone. And I mean, even till this day, you know, like there's scenes and stuff from that whole series and also from that particular book that, I mean, I'm gonna die with that in my heart because it was amazing. Amazing.
So don't kill me, but I've only read the first book
Okay.
so far.
Okay, but did you start with Throne or did you start with Assassin's Blade? Because that matters.
I did ACOTAR.
ACOTAR. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I know they're all like in one universe, right?
Yeah. So they say read ACOTAR, then they say read Throne, then Crescent. Okay. And what did you? It doesn't look like you loved it.
No, all right. So this was my whole process of it, right? I went to the used bookstore. because I was not going to buy it new because I didn't know if I was going to like it or not. Went to the used bookstore, got the first book, started reading it, didn't even get past chapter 1, closed my book, threw it under my bed, and never touched it until my coworker told me, "Have you read ACOTAR?" I'm like, and I literally told her the same thing. She got so offended. Like, you better get that book from under your bed and read it. I'm like, all right, I'll read it. I can't promise you anything. I'm going to like it, but I will finish the book. So I finished the book. It was okay for what it was. Then she went like, yes, that's the first book. Now you got to read the second book because the second book gets better.
Yes, I was just going to say that. The second book is better.
I told her maybe. I don't know. Give me some time to like dwell on it.
Did you listen to it?
I did.
Okay. Because I was going to say, at least the audio is a graphic audio.
No, I hated the graphic audio.
Oh, you didn't like it?
No, I did the original audio. I didn't do the graphic.
Okay, so I'm new to audio, and I just recently actually listened to ACOTAR. I had like a really long drive, and I want to like kind of get through the series again. And I had listened to it. It was my first time ever listening to a graphic audio. It was like my very first time. And I loved it. Like, I was like, wow, this is cool. It's like watching a movie in my ears. Like, right. I was like, this is great. And I mean, I flew through it, but you know, obviously, like I already know what's going to happen and all that. So I think I was just pumped to listen to it because I'd only read it before. I'd never listened to it. So
we'll give the second one another chance. Okay. I can't. I have the second one. I sold it back. I think I sold it back. Yeah, I sold it back. I'll listen to the second one. I can't make any promises that I love it, but I'll listen to it.
Well, hear me out. Even though people say that the books are connected in their universe, you really don't technically have to read ACOTAR. Like, you can read Throne of Glass as its own series. You're not missing anything. You're not learning anything really in ACOTAR that if you read Throne of Glass and didn't read that you wouldn't understand. Reading things in the same universe really are like for the Easter eggs, you know, like little things that they have sprinkled around, laying around, especially later in the series. And obviously for I guess what's coming out now in October at some point. And you do see some things in Crescent City that reference to these books, but it's not big enough where I would say to you, like, hey, look, you need to suffer through this. Like, no. You know, at least as a fellow reader, like, I rather you read something that you're going to enjoy versus like force yourself through something. Like, if that's not your vibe and you don't like it and you can't get into it, then personally, I'm not going to force you to read it or tell you, hey, look, you got to, you know. I would say definitely give it a try because the second book is better. But if I were going to pick a series, Throne of Glass is a series. That's the one. The thing is it's a commitment, you know, because it's a lot.
That's the thing. I don't want to do a commitment. Like, I'm already into three series so far. And I told myself I'm not doing series books. I will not. I'll do standalone only. Look how far that got me. So I got the Diary-Bound series. I got the Vicious Lost Boys series. If you're big on Peter Pan, definitely read those books because they're short reads. They're like 200 pages or so. So it's the Never King and all the others. The last one is coming out. Yeah. So
I'll definitely read that.
So good. The Lights Out series, I'm on Game On. And the fourth thing, obviously.
Hold on, the Lights Out series, you're on, is that the second book?
Game On's the third one.
Game On.
So it's Lights Out. Yeah, Lights Out, Caught Up, and Game On.
Okay, I just finished Lights Out like a couple days ago. I haven't said this to my friends yet because we haven't sat down and actually talked about the book. I liked it, but it was underwhelming for me. It's one of those Booktok hyped books that I read and I was like, I liked it. It was my first time reading because I don't know that I would consider it a dark romance, you know, like it has dark romance elements because of the stalker, but it was very rom-com-y, you know, and which is cool, you know, but I don't know.
I would say it's on the lighter side of dark romance. It's not fully dark.
Yeah, I mean, it's not dark. And I mean, compared to some of the stuff, you know, like Haunting Adeline is so much darker, you know. This one had like that comedy element to it, especially if you're listening, you know, which I did enjoy because I love Book Josh.
Yeah.
You know, like I really liked him. He was hilarious. Same thing with her. I mean, they really grew on me. But some of the stuff was just like kind of, I don't know, ridiculous. And the plot didn't plot until, 75% of the book was over.
Right.
So
So I think each book has something different. So Lights Out, like you said, a dark rom-com. Caught Up is more of like a romance, dark romance mafia book with voyeurism included. Game On, I don't know what Game On is. I just started it, so I'm still trying to figure it out. So each thing has its own theme and stuff, but yeah, it's on the lighter side of dark romance. Like
think about book 2 because I've heard such mixed reviews in comparison to the
it is very mixed, and I felt very mixed about it.
Okay.
Like, yeah, we get Josh and his girl. I don't remember her name.
Allie, I think.
Yeah, Allie. Josh and Allie shows up in the book as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not predominantly, but they do show up from time to time. It was good for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Would I say it was the best one written? Probably not. I would think Lights Out it's better than Caught Up.
Okay.
Good book all in all, but probably not better than Lights Out because we had Josh and Allie, and that's why I thought I was missing. But you're not going to get Josh and Allie in this book. You're getting somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is fine, but that's what makes it a good standalone book. It's good for what it was. It was its own standalone book. We get more into Allie's family, her uncle, and that whole side of the family is more predominantly shown throughout the whole book.
Okay.
So you'll learn more about them. On the third book, Game On, again, I don't know. It's supposed to be a family friend and his girl. So he's part of the mafia too. So it's okay. It's good for what it was. Again, I mean, don't go in there expecting to hear Josh and Allie and the whole rom-com because it's not.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I heard. I heard like that people saying that it's not the same people and that they were disappointed by the time they got to the book because of that. And, I heard the second one wasn't as good as the first, but that the third one is very good. So I'm excited to read them, but I think I'm going to take a little break and finish. Like I have like just such a long list of books that I want to get through for June and it's already half over.
I would say this. I would use Caught Up as a palate cleanser than actual like invested into a book. It's one of those things like I'm in a reading slump. Let me just read this book as a palate cleanser and then go to the actual book that you want to read.
Okay. Yeah, I could do that. I mean, so I'm used to reading either like a duology or a trilogy or, like a series. And I have to say like I think is the first time where like, obviously this book is a set of 3. Right. I don't even know if you can call it a trilogy. I don't know what they call it, but it's like a set of 3. But I've never read a book series where like you can read them as standalones, Yep. I mean, and I don't know if you can technically read it as a standalone because obviously you miss the information relating to her family from the first book, but still, like I feel like you can independently read them if you wanted to. And I've never done that before. So I'm pretty interested about it because it doesn't make me want to jump into the next book immedially. Like I just use it as a palate cleanser. So that's pretty cool.
Like Game On, I started it. I won't go back to it until later on. I mean, I could read this book anytime that I want. The second book didn't end in a cliffhanger, and neither did the first book. So it's like, all right, I could take my time on this. But yeah, it was good for what it was.
Yeah, for sure.
Or if I was going to recommend anything myself, obviously it will be a Freida book. Obviously, why not? Never Lie would be the book I'll recommend.
Okay, so I've never read a Freida book, so
yes.
I'm going to take that word for it, and I can make that my first Freida book.
I mean, the Housemaid series is good. I didn't read the third book. I read book 1, book 2. I have the third book and I have the novella. So that'll come later on eventually. But Never Lie. What's the other one?
Never Lie's on super sale on Amazon.
What, for $1?
No, it's $9 from 18. That's a deal. It's in the cart.
There's never. Jeez, hold on. I gotta look up this book because I can't remember the name of it, and it came out like not that long ago, maybe like a year ago. There's that one there. If you want to get really annoyed, like severely annoyed, The Coworker. That's the book that really annoyed everybody. Another good one is The Tenant. because it has two twists at the end. So that's a good one. The Tenant, Dear Debbie, really, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Dear.
Yeah, another good one is Ward D, which was crazy. And have you read Verity?
Yes, and
Okay.
we can talk about that at some point, but I have read Verity.
So if you read Verity, you could compare it with The Wife Upstairs because they say it's very similar.
Okay.
Almost to the point that is plagiarized, people said.
Okay.
It's that similar.
That level.
But if you want like a little, like, if you want something not so like thriller or whatever, which I read both books, and this is like really not thriller at all. It's The Devil Wears Scrubs.
Devil Wears Scrubs? Okay, I'm writing these all down.
And The Devil Wears Scrubs, and there's another one, The Devil You Know,
Devil You Know,
which is a sequel to The Devil Wears Scrubs. Which, so the devil, a little bit about The Devil Wears Scrubs. It's about a doctor, and funny enough, Freida is a doctor in real life. She's like a medical doctor, and she goes by that pen name.
Like I just found that out. Is she like a neurosurgeon or something?
She's something. I don't know what she is, but it's about this doctor who's going through her first year of like being in a hospital, doing their first year of graduates and stuff. And she falls in love with this guy who's a major dick in the hospital. Because he works in a different unit. She works in the ICU. He's a surgeon. And she can't stand him, man. She can't stand her preceptor or the nurse. The nurse just, is screwing with her left and right and whatever. And her and the surgeon falls in love, and it goes off from there. But that book was like, you really feel for the person. Like, she's getting such a shit end of the stick throughout the whole book, and she's just trying her best just to like keep her nose clean.
Is it a thriller also?
No, it's a comedic. It's comedy. Like, it's a romance comedy, basically. It's not thriller at all.
I'm gonna have to share this one with my sister. My sister's a nurse.
Because it's so well written, and me working in a hospital, and I worked in ICU for like a year and a half. I related to this character so much. I'm like, oh my God, this is so true.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to share it with her. So my sister works in the ICU. She's a cardiac ICU nurse. So yeah.
I worked at the med surgical, so it's like frequent flyers coming in, coming out.
Yeah, she has that too. She works in like the peds unit, so she's like with the babies, with the little babies.
Oh goodness, no, that was tough working in there. I had to leave and look for something else.
I tell her all the time. It's funny. We're both kind of like, I don't know how you do what you do, but I literally with her. I say that all the time. I'm like, I have no idea how can you even do that? Like, I could never. I'd be crying all the time. I mean, all these little babies with messed up little hearts, it breaks my heart.
It's not even. Yes, you have to deal with the patient, and it's awful. But it's the parents as well. We understand that your child's in the ICU and they're going through stuff. And sometimes you get wonderful parents who are like the sweetest thing and treat the nurse as like, thank God you're, doing this for my child and stuff. But then you get other people who are just horrible, and like they're trying their best just to help your child, but you're just being such a horrible person and stuff and demanding things. It's like, it's just so much that we could do. At least on my end, and even the nurses' end, like, they have to do what they need to do.
I mean, I've definitely heard stories. On her end, and she's told me so much, of like really rough nights that she's had, obviously, that she just like needed to speak about. And she's also told me about those like rough patient parents, where, she's obviously like only given like one baby at a time, or maybe two babies at a time, especially because they're so freaking ill and they've had like open heart surgery and things like that. And the parents really just don't make it easy sometimes, but also, and I tell her this too, is like, you have to put yourself in their shoes, their baby that was just born or whatever, like, is not looking so good. The prognosis is not good. And I can't imagine how difficult it is. But also, don't be mean to the people who are trying to save your baby's life.
Yeah. I mean, we get it. you're worried, you're mad, you're scared, you're like everything under the sun. But no, it's one we understand what you're going through emotionally. Like we understand those emotions, but sometimes it's like they're trying their best. And they're trying to make sure that your kid is safe and healthy and everything that they need to do. But sometimes those particular parents are like, there's nothing that you could do. You could go to the end of the world
nothing will
trying to
make them
please
happy.
them. No.
Yeah, I've heard those stories, believe me.
So I've been asking this question to everybody, authors, book talkers, so there is a person that I follow on TikTok. She currently has 1,700 plus books. She has her own personal library. She thrifts all the books. Like sometimes she'll come with a stack and she does this morning thing in the morning. She'll have like a stack of books that she bought. And sometimes she gets for $10, $12, $20. And I don't know how she does it. So how many books do you have currently?
So I think that I'm somewhere in the range between like 500 and 550 books. I scan my books into my library so that I know all the time digitally what books I have, because I do forget sometimes since I have so many. But yeah, I would say that roughly about there. If I had to guess, I'd say I'm probably at like 550, maybe more at this point.
550. Okay. So soon, by the end of the year, you'll probably have your own library, right?
I hope so. I don't know if I'll make it by the end of the year, but I'll be pretty close.
All right. And for your job, you travel for work, right? So when you travel, do you scope out bookstores around?
Yes, absolutely. Not only when I travel for work, but like, so I recently had posted a video. My husband is like uber supportive of my habits. And as I am with him, he loves graphic novels. So if we go to a bookstore, we'll hit up a comic book shop, like that. And like last week, we had like a long weekend. We had taken off like 2 days off of work together during the week and then the weekend. And he woke up one day and he was like, what do you want to do? And I was like, let's go up the Palm Coast of Florida and visit all of the bookstores, on the Palm Coast. And it was so much fun. And we went to like 4 big stores, and it turned out that they were having a bookstore crawl anyway that I didn't know about.
Oh no.
It was awesome. And then in between that, we hit up, so that we did 4 indie bookshops, and then we also did some like big name stores like Second and Charles, Ollie's, Bargain Outlet. We always hit up Target, obviously, Barnes, and all those like regular stores, But yeah, every time I travel, I went to New York recently too, and I hit up like 3 or 4 different stores. They even had a book bar, which is my first time seeing like an actual like a bar where they sold out.
Wait, hold on. A book bar where you can buy alcohol and books?
Yes. So like the whole, and I'm about to post a video about this like any day now, but it was literally like you walk in and the whole right side was like all books, and then they have like a nice lounge area with couches and stuff. And then the bar was on the left-hand side, like dead center. And yeah, there were the bartenders there just like making mixed drinks and stuff, and you got to drink and buy books. It was awesome.
2 greatest things, right?
That's what I said. I thought it was genius, but it was like very unique. I'd never seen that before. I don't think we have something like that in Florida where they sell alcohol.
Yeah. I mean, there's book cafes, there's cafes where you could buy books and stuff, but not like a book bar.
Yeah, it was really cool. I want to look to see if there's something like that here in Florida. I don't think I've looked closely enough to be able to say that, but I'm pretty sure we don't. But that one was called Published, and it was on Long Island in New York. It was awesome.
Published. So yeah. Thank you for saying that, because I am going to Long Island in July. Published.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you definitely have to go.
Published. Okay.
Yeah, and now I'm going to San Diego for the first time ever. I've never been to the West Coast. I'm going on Tuesday for work. I'm going for a conference, and I am already scoping out like all the bookshops over there.
So let's see where I'm going to stay and how far the bookstores are.
Okay. Well, what city are you staying in?
Not sure. We still have to do that. All right. So we're in Long Island. I don't know where in Long Island we're staying. So
Is it your first time?
yeah, her cousin lives in Long Island. So we're going there she's getting married. So she's doing this
Okay.
whole thing. So we're going there for like a night. We're going there Saturday and then leaving Sunday.
Okay. So, I mean, I would recommend maybe you stay an extra day, you know? There's a lot of really cool places to visit over there.
We can, but she teaches summer school and I have to actually I can stay and switch with a person, but she needs to go back and go to summer school. And I wouldn't know how to get back without taking the Amtrak up and spending tons of money just to get back home. So
yeah, well, if you don't get to stay, that's okay. But there are some pretty cool bookstores over there, and yeah, published. You guys should definitely stop and get a drink there. It's pretty cool.
Looked at it published. That sounds like so much fun. So obviously you have your, 9 to 5 daily job. That's like probably not a 9 to 5, but have you thought of like actually writing a book?
No.
Okay.
I have not, because so I write a lot for work, like a lot. I don't think that I have an interest in doing that kind of work, writing for funsies. I'm happy when I don't have to write. So
Right.
I can't find myself writing a book, but I'm enjoying helping my friend who's writing a book. She's currently writing a book, and I love like reading it for her whenever she's like done writing something, and like giving her feedback and stuff, and like kind of helping her with the process, even like coming up with like what the characters look like and stuff. But I could not do that. I literally say that to her all the time. I'm like, I don't know how you do this. This is so good. I don't think I have like the mental capacity, you know.
I think you can. I mean, all right, all right. So if you were going to write a book, what genre would you write?
Definitely fantasy.
Fantasy. All right. Would your book have dragons, wolves, or like every mythical creature?
I think I'd have multiple mythical creatures in it, but I would absolutely have dragons. I'm a dragon fan.
Okay. So, all right. So dragon. Fantasy book, dragons. Okay. Would your characters be morally gray, or would you write a very strong woman lead or strong male lead?
I think that I'm going to say that I would absolutely write a strong, powerful woman as the lead of my book, and a morally gray guy as my...
See, you're already halfway there.
It is a cool... The idea of it is very cool, but I find myself, I'm more on the creative side of things. So not that writing's not creative, but like I like working in graphics. I like drawing, and it's not something that I've done in recent years. Like as an adult, I used to draw all the time and paint and do shadowing and things like that. But I love creating graphics. I love making stickers. I made this shirt.
Wait a minute, you made that shirt?
Yeah, well, not the design. The design's not mine. I'm not going to take credit for it.
Oh,
but
okay.
Like I do make my own designs, but I like press shirts, and I make shirts and sweaters and bookmarks and all those things, but I do it for fun. Like I don't sell any of the stuff, like I just do it as a hobby.
I mean, hear me out. You can start selling that stuff as a side hustle,
I could. And the truth is, and you might hear me talk about this in videos at some point or the other, but the hustle and bustle of I'm going to say it's a regular job, right? Like the hustle and bustle of like doing a 9 to 5 and like not getting enjoyment out of your whatever somebody's career or job is or whatever has really made me think about what I want to do with my life that's gonna just like fill me with so much joy. Money aside, like not thinking about money, just thinking about like what's actually gonna make me feel fulfilled and happy, and how I want to live the rest of my life at this point, And one of those has been the idea of opening up a bookstore. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like I have been doing all the research and everything that I can to set myself up, to be successful in my bookshop so that I can live off of it. And so I will eventually, I guess, sell merch in my store. And I'm excited to make designs for it, and I've already like designed a logo and everything for myself, so I'm pretty pumped.
I mean, there's a person on here on TikTok, which again, I'll send you her TikTok. She just opened up a bookstore in Pennsylvania a couple months ago. It was a book tour / tanning salon, which yeah, I know.
So
So
cool.
she has a tanning salon and she owns the whole thing. So the tanning salon and a bookstore. So she sells books, and if they want to go tan, they can go tan and stuff. But yeah, she's loving it so far.
I love that for her so much. I have seen, so I've been doing like a lot of research because I've been thinking about doing a mobile bookstore so that I could avoid a brick and mortar for now, considering everything obviously going on with the world. But but I've been thinking about a brick and mortar a lot. And with all my research, like I've seen a lot of very cool things, right? Obviously you have your usual like bookstore cafe. Cool. I've seen bookstore with floral, also cool, you know. And recently I just saw bookstore tattoo shop, and I
Ah,
loved that. I thought that was brilliant. I am obsessed with the idea. So if there's any way that I could maybe incorporate something like that, it's something I would consider. I've also seen there is a new local store that just opened here in Central Florida. It's called Black Rose Bookshop. It's a dark romance store, but like it's and it's yeah, it's a dark romance store. It's very like gothic vibes. I really like them because they have a lot of like indie books in their store versus, you know, like your traditional books that people recommend. So I really like that.
right.
But they do these like really cool things where like they have candlelight shopping.
Oh,
It is so cool. And it goes with their
yeah.
like gothic vibe, you know. It's really cool. They're very unique about incorporating their theme into their shop and doing events and stuff. So I want to like incorporate cool things like that too. I don't know, man. Book Talk is awesome because it just like opens you up to so many cool ideas for things. You
Mhm.
know, it's like the possibilities are just endless. You know, it's just
Right.
about like how motivated you are.
I mean, there's a bookshop up here. It's called Love Struck Books. So they
Mhm.
focus on all things romance. They have cowboy romance, they have dark romance, they have taboo, fantasy. You know, they have like a little small section of like all the other things. But it's a romance bookstore with a cafe attached within it. And when we went, because I took my wife to that store to get her books for her birthday. Like, we're going to Love Struck Books. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna buy you books, and you choose whatever you want. I don't care what it is. Just go in there and get the books that you want. You know, I
Oh,
dropped a
that's
hundred.
like the greatest date ever.
Yeah, I told her get whatever you want, and I'll buy it for you. She got 2 books. I'm like, I don't think so. So I snuck
You do
in.
better than that.
Yeah, so I snuck in. So I got her 4 books that day. 5. This one book has like it's like a dual book. It's like 2 books in one. So I got her that, and I didn't get anything for myself because I couldn't find really anything. Now I could probably go in there and find something. That's way before I started dark romance and all that stuff. But she's like, "Who are those books for?" I'm like, "They're for you." She's like, "Seriously?" Like, she gave me the stare. Like, I don't need them. I'm like, I already paid for it. I already swiped my card. Here you go. Happy birthday.
That's so nice.
Yeah. And I got her for this year. I got her tickets to Emily Rath signing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the Plucking Around book. So she has a book coming out called Devour Me.
I've
So
heard of it.
yeah, so I got her the ticket. I got her the signed book. I got myself a ticket because I'm gonna go with her. I didn't
Oh,
get a
that's
book
so
because we don't need. Yeah. So it's in August, so it's gonna be a month after her birthday. But I got that for her birthday, so I already
that
told her
sounds
about it because
so fun.
yeah, I already told her about it because I can't wait. I'm a person like literally Christmas. I have to like not like I have so much like what's the word I'm looking for?
Excitement. You can't hold the
I
excitement.
can't. No, I cannot. So I have to like hold off and like wait. Like, all right, I'm gonna keep those for Christmas, but I'm gonna give her this one early. This as long as I give her one early, I'm fine. Like, here you go.
I love that.
So
I love
for
that. I feel like that with my husband. Sometimes I'll come home and I'll be like, I can't wait to give you this. You know, and then we just sit there and we're like, okay, well we can just buy more gifts later.
mhm.
But yeah.
So
Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
the so this past Christmas, she didn't really have a coat. Like she wore sweaters. We wear sweaters year round. Like, we don't have like a heavy coat, whatever. She
Mhm.
told me one time she had like a pea coat, and I know how
Mhm.
much pea coats are. They're like wicked
Good
expensive. So
question.
I went on Torrid and got like a pea coat lookalike.
Mhm.
Wasn't cheap, but it was close to it.
I love
So
Tori.
I got her two coats. One leather one that had like a faux fur inside. It was brown leather. And I gave that to her first. I told her I got you two gifts. This one I'm giving to you right now because it's cold outside. And the other one you have to wait for. So I can't remember which one I gave her first. I think I gave her the pea coat first. Because the other one was like, I'm just gonna get this one because she'll have like two coats. She could switch off one another. So I gave her the pea coat. She opened it up. It's like, is this a pea coat? I'm like, pea coat esque. She's like, I love it. I got her the right size. It fit her well. She kept her warm during the winter. So, and then the other one, I gave it to her on Christmas. She loved to eat too. So I have no restraint when I give her gifts.
That's so sweet. I'm the same. I mean, obviously, like, it's so nice to, obviously, when you love your partner like that, that you're just like, I just want to give you everything, you know? I'm like that with my husband. I'll literally get him anything and everything as long as he's happy, you know? So, plus, I mean, I know you know that I have a shopping problem, so
Stop putting up deals. You gotta stop. You can't.
I tell everyone, there's so many videos that I start with, don't follow me for financial advice. I'm not the one.
Should have learned. You did start off with that in that video. I'm like, huh.
I'm not the
Like,
one. Listen, I go shopping every week. It's a problem. It really is. I go shopping every weekend. I always do the same thing. Like I go to my favorite stores, local stores, and then I go hit up places like Marshalls. Like my Marshalls is amazing. Actually, as someone who likes Freida McFadden, for you, like I don't know if you've gone to your local Marshalls, but mine is always full of Freida books. So you get them
yeah,
for like really good price.
mine's not. That's the only thing that they don't have is books. They'll have everything else, but no books.
I don't know what it's like to live around Marshalls like that, and I hope I never do.
We have a couple Marshalls here that they'll sell everything but books. They'll sell like weird, like you go into Marshalls and then you go into like that cooking section and it's like all like
They have
off-brand
cookies.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have cookies from
I'm,
like Italy, like some random pack of cookies.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, no, ours is like literally loaded. So I love like at least once or twice a week, I want to go in and, obviously I go in, I make content of everything that they have. But the issue with making content is that I fall victim to myself because I want to buy everything.
I'm a window shopper. So I would literally go into a store, walk around, see what they got, and then just leave.
I'm like that, but not with book stuff. Like I'm like that with like regular stuff. Like I could walk into Torrid. No, that was a lie. I cannot walk into Torrid and walk out with nothing. But other stores like FYE or something like that, like I could walk in, look
Still
around,
got
and
an FYE down there?
we do. We have an FYE down here.
We have none up here.
Yep, we do. And they always have really good deals too.
I mean,
And
I-
it's pop culture, so they have such cool stuff.
yeah. The last FYE I went to didn't look like an FYE. It's the one that I remember that I walked in and there'll be CDs and records all over the place.
Feel like that.
Not the one I went to. They didn't have CDs. They had pop figures and all type of other stuff.
No, the one that we have here, they've got CDs, they have tons of records. They have, I mean, obviously they have Funko Pops too. They have shirts and things like that, sweaters, other types of figures and things like that. But even snacks, like they have like some funky snacks. But yeah, it's very old school. They still have like that like old school FYE vibe.
There was a mall probably a half hour away from me, and it was way back when I was a kid. They had a FYE, and then they had doors in the back where you could go into the arcade.
That's cool.
Yeah, so you could go through the arcade and then go into FYE and vice versa. That's no longer there. And every time I walk into that mall and see that corner where FYE used to be, it's now a Northeast Arc, which helps disabled children with learning disabilities and all that stuff, help them find jobs and things. That's what occupies it now. And I look over there, I'm like, only if I wish FYE was still there in the arcade.
Yeah.
I had so much fun.
I mean, it's definitely very nostalgic when you like every time I walk by there, or happen to go inside, it definitely takes me back to a time in my childhood where like I used to go to the mall after high school, when I was in high school, and it's very nice. It's nice to see it.
Yeah. So going back to books. So what are you currently reading?
I'm currently reading Divine Rivals. I'm currently reading Restitution, which is the third book in the Edge of Darkness trilogy. I'm reading Divine Rivals, and I'm about to start For the Fans, which will be my first male romance for Pride Month. But I'm currently like mostly like I want to say like mostly dedicated right now to Divine Rivals because I'm like 60% of the way through, so I'm just like ready to finish it. So I'm hoping to have that completed by Sunday so I can move on.
Well, and get into your other stuff.
Yep.
And that's a two-parter, right? Divine Rivals.
Yeah, it's a duology.
Is that the first one or is that the second one?
No, Divine Rivals is the first one.
Oh, okay. And what's the second one?
I can't remember the name of it. Let me see. Ruthless Vows.
Ruthless Vows. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm liking it. I am. I'm really liking it currently. It's a YA fantasy and it's about a magical typewriter. And I'm enjoying it a lot more than I thought I was gonna like it. And the story is also a lot different than I thought it was.
Right.
Because I thought it took place at a different time with this magical typewriter. Like, obviously, there's the FMC and the MMC. And I thought that there was like a change in time during their communication, but I don't know. There really isn't. And I am loving it. I am loving it so much. It's not what I was expecting. Really surprised me. And I'm feeling so connected to the FMC in this book. I have been both elated and emotionally devastated for all at the same time. So yeah, I've like randomly found myself crying over this YA book and I love it. I can't wait to finish.
Here's another question for you.
Yeah.
Which book like actually like really broke you? Like you were like sobbing and you kind of like it really while you were reading, like really hit you emotionally.
Okay, so I'm going to give you two answers for that because I was just talking to someone about this. So in terms of like emotionally breaking me, I would say that Kingdom of Ash, the last book from Throne of Glass series, was the book that like emotionally wrecked me. And that's why it was such an impactful book to me and why I still think about it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I had like a crazy experience with this other book. It's called In You by, I believe, S.K. Presley is her name. It's a pitch black psychological thriller romance. And it was my first time reading a book of its kind. And the things that book did me, the things that book did to me, I can't even explain what that book did to me because the way that it was written had me feeling so many different emotions. It was very uncomfortable during some parts of the book where I felt like I had to put it down and walk away because I was like, I can't read this. Like, how am I reading this? Like, this is crazy. The book is about a girl who kind of develops this dissociative disorder because of a traumatic event. So she has like multiple personalities, right? And every time her personalities changed, it like triggered me in like the weirdest way. I can't explain it. Like I'm at a loss for words because that book was one of these books, and I actually spoke to the author last night on live, and I was explaining to her like it was one of these things where I kept telling myself, Steph, you can't read this. Like this is crazy, And I'd put it down and then I had to pick it back up because I was like, no, I need to know what happens, So I was like emotionally and mentally invested in it. And I read it now at this point years ago, and I'm still thinking about it. So I don't know whether to recommend the book or to tell people to run the other way, honestly.
I would 100% recommend the book, but with telling them, hey, it's a good book, but just be aware there are some things, if you have any triggers or anything that's like close to it, then you shouldn't read it. But
yeah, I think I think that's what it is. Like I went into, and I'll tell you what my book selecting process is like. If I like the cover, I'm gonna read it. It's crazy, but I won't even read the synopsis a lot of time because I don't like spoilers. And I think that sometimes authors put way too much information in a synopsis more than I needed, honestly. And so I like going into books blind. I really do. And that's exactly what happened with that book. I saw it. I liked it. I started reading it. And that's probably one of the books where you need to read the synopsis and you need to read the trigger warnings, because the overall topic is very dark, and you need to make sure you're okay, like mentally, to read it, And, I found myself questioning that as I was reading it. I'm like, I don't know if I can take it. I remember messaging my best friend and being like, I can't do this.
Right?
She was like, dude, put it down. If you're uncomfortable, put it down. And I'm like, the thing is I put it down 3 times, but I gotta finish.
It's like a car wreck. You can't look away. It's like, what's happening?
Yeah.
I need to, but I just can't.
Yeah. I mean, and that's how I felt. So I would say, obviously Kingdom of Vash, definitely an emotional wreckage for me. Something I think about every day, but in terms of like psychological wreckage, I would say In You by S.K. Presley.
I'm looking at it. I'm like, yep, I am going to buy this book.
And you should. And honestly, I can't wait to hear what you have to say about it. And you know what? When you get to chapter 23, I know you're going to want to talk to somebody. You're going to want to talk to me. And
no, don't tell me that.
Don't ruin yourself. You got to read through the book, because it's one of those books where you just become emotionally connected to the character, and you need that like character build. You kind of need to go through the disorders and things with her. And I think like once you get that attachment and then you get to that point in the book, that's when you're just like, it kind of pulls on the strings and makes you question everything.
That's how I was with Haunting and Hunting Adeline. Like the first Haunting Adeline, I had to put down the book a couple of times because of the whole non-consensual stuff that they were doing. I'm like, this is way too much for me. Let me put it down for a little bit. And then I picked it back up. Yeah.
It's rough. I felt that way. And I read those books so long ago. It's been several years, so I can't remember exactly. But I feel like if I remember correctly, that was happening to me in book 2. Like in book 2, in Hunting Adeline, I don't want to give anything away, but in that book, I remember there were certain instances where I was like, where like I was like, I can't. This is too much, So yeah, I mean, I remember that.
You get to the point where it goes from like, this is very brutal and stuff, to the second part after, and it's more not brutal, but more emotional after. So
heartstrings are there. They're pulling. Mm-hmm. Well, you just get to this point where, and this happened to me within you also. It's like you're just asking yourself, like, how much can someone take? Like, and you see when people reach their breaking point. Right. And you as a reader, in fantasy, you want to jump in because you can't imagine this world that's being built around you. But when you're reading books like that, you're just like, I need to save these people. Right. Like,
right.
Can I do to help them? It's awful. That feeling is awful.
It's the way that authors write that really captivates you into like keep reading a book. It's going to get better. You have to get through these rough patches to see the light at the end.
And it's such a talent. I mean, imagine being able to do that with words, making you feel that like anguish, right? That like need to do something, need to act, anything, crying and all of it. Like they give you all these emotions just through words. What a powerful thing to be able to do.
Right. I met this up and coming indie author. She sent me a couple chapters on a book that she's writing. And she has a background in psychology. And literally the first 2 chapters of the book that she's writing got me hooked because I was feeling mad. I was feeling sad for the female character and like
everything, all the feels.
Everything all at once. I'm like, I was messenger back. I'm like, I don't understand how you're making me feel all these things while reading just only 5 chapters that she sent me. And I gave her some feedback, like, this is amazing, and that one of the characters in there needs to have her have something bad needs to happen to that character because I do not like her. She's like, all right, she's gonna get something. I'm like,
He's gonna get something.
yeah.
Her out the worst way.
Like, I told her, don't listen to me. This is your book you're writing. You write it how you want it. Don't even, I'm just the reader and I'm just telling you what I think. And at the end of the book, at the end of the day, it's your book. You write how you want to write it, how you want to end it. So it's some indie books are better than just popular books that are out there. And I was telling her, sometimes, it's great to have dragons, it's great to have fairies, it's great to have wolves, it's great to have all that fantasy stuff, all this dark romance stuff. But then it comes to a point that's just cookie cutter.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're reading the same thing. It may be a different book, but the premise is almost the same. And that's why I'm afraid to finish reading Direbound, because it seems similar as Fourth Wing.
Does it? I don't know anything. I have Direbound, but I haven't read it. Like, it's on my TBR, but everybody loves it. Everybody who reads it devours it. So I just assume I don't like it too.
I mean, I'm on chapter 4. I already started with a bang, so let's see.
Listen, if a book can have a bang already at chapter 4, then you know it's going to be good.
Yeah, but I don't like I know there's ebbs and flows and just keep me going. That's why Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson, from beginning to end. It's boom, 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 boom. It doesn't stop.
Oh, nice. That's nice. I love books that can captivate me from the very beginning. It's one of the reasons why the Bloodwing Academy series that I read, why I liked it so much, is because I was hooked by chapter 5 in the first book. Like, I remember that scene and everything, it's like something I won't forget. Now, whether the rest of the books lived up to that, maybe that's for another day, because I did think, like, the second book was really good also. The third book, I'm waiting to complete the series. The next one comes out, I think, maybe in October. So I can't wait to finish it. But she did an excellent job at captivating me from, like, the very beginning. Like, the second I started reading, I was like, yeah, this is good.
Right. So have you ever DNF'd the book? If so, which one?
I did recently DNF a Bad Bishop, but I didn't DNF it, and I'm not going to pick it back up. I DNF'd it for now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I tried listening to the audiobook and, the accent just didn't do it for me like it did for some people. To me, it was more disruptive to me, like, because I couldn't concentrate. I was too busy, like, hyper focusing on the accent that I wasn't, like, paying attention to what I was reading. And then, I was reading a little bit and there was, like, a couple of things that I just wasn't a fan. Of. So I stopped reading, but I might pick it up again later. But other than that, I don't think so. I mean, I'm pretty good about reading something, and for the most part, I'll, like, follow through.
I've DNF'd a couple books. The latest one I DNF'd was, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate from this, but Binding 13.
That's Books of Toman or Books of Tommen, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I just got that entire series. I have it. It's on my TBR. But yeah, I mean, I would say you're going to get some feedback from that making that statement, because people love, like, yeah, I was going to say people are obsessed with those books. So why'd you DNF it? What didn't you like?
It's in a high school setting, college, as they call it.
Okay.
I've just learned that I don't like listening to stories.
Is that also in, like, an Irish? Okay. So Bad Bishop is similar then, like, to that.
Yeah.
Like the Irish or Scottish accent. Like, it's just I don't know, it's, like, difficult for me to concentrate when that's what the accent is. And some people, they exclusively want to listen to it because of that, because with Bad Bishop, I've gotten so many people that have said, my God, listen to the audio, and I'm like, no, actually the audio kind of killed it for me.
Yeah, I can't. I can't do it. No, it's not for me. I stopped. I was about to DNF on chapter 6, 7.
Mm-hmm.
And I went on to read up to chapter 13, 14. And I'm like, I can't put myself through that. So I just stopped and gave it to my wife. I'm like, here you go. You'll like this book. It's
one of those things where you have to, like, read it yourself so that you make your own voices,
Yeah. But the thing, once I immersive read, I can't go back. I'm there with the book and the audiobook at the same time. So I don't know.
I'm new to immersive reading So all right, I'm gonna get flack for this also. So I used to hate audiobooks. And I don't know that I actually really hated them. I just used to say that I hated it. I don't know why, but I just was not for it. I've always been just like a reader, never listened to anything. I tried listening to a couple of audiobooks randomly in the past, and I don't know, for whatever reason, the narrators were just not good and turned me off to audiobooks completely. And then I was like so hard on not giving it a chance. When I started on Booktok and I heard people reading immersively and I learned what it was, I did it. What was the first book I did that with? Oh, the first book I did that with was with the Bloodwing Academy. I listened to that whole series and I fell in love with it. Not only visually for me, you know, like as I'm reading, I feel like by listening, I'm getting like a better visual for some reason. That's just how my brain functions, apparently. But you obviously also get through the book quicker, which is great if, you know, like if you, like I wanted to finish that series. So this is the best way to like get through it, you know?
Right.
Because if I'm reading myself, I am a slow reader. You
Oh,
know?
same here. Literally take me a month to finish a book. I can't instead of like 2 weeks. It'll take me a month, maybe more.
Yeah, but I will say it is difficult once you immersively read to kind of go back, because I had that issue. I can't remember what book it was, but there was one of the books that I was reading that happened to me with Divine Rivals. I do not like the audiobook for Divine Rivals. I've tried reading it without the audio and I just can't. Like I still feel like I need the audio even though I don't like the audio. I'm like forcing my way through the audio at this point. But yeah, it is really difficult to go back at once you're in, you're in.
For real. Once you're in, you're in.
Once you're in, you're in.
Well, last question before I end this, and I've always end this with this question, and I've asked everybody, and I've gotten different answers to it. But this is my opinion alone, and it doesn't matter what I think. But do you crack or do you not crack your spine?
No, heck no. What kind of monster would do that to their book? Absolutely not. I don't care what anyone says about me.
Yeah, I've had different answers. Some do, some don't, and I do not.
And no,
my wife is different. She does everything to the book, which yeah.
I cannot. The thought. Listen, I've said this to people before, like, because like obviously I have lots of friends, you know, they come and they see my books and stuff and they're like, oh, can I borrow this? And I'm like, no, absolutely not. Like, I'd rather buy you the book than give you my book, because I know that you're not going to care for my book the way that I care for my book. You know, like my book has to be in like perfect condition. I cannot, you know, like I hold it a specific way so that I don't crease the spine. You know, I'm not folding.
Thank you.
I'm not folding the corners of the book. Heck no.
Thank you for saying that. Because I tried to explain to people there's a certain way to hold the book. Like I even showed it to my wife. Like I would take the book and I would like literally like cradle the spine.
Yeah.
And like hold it like this, so I'm not creasing the spine. I don't mind if it like flaps open a little bit, because I know I'm holding it a certain way. And when I put it back and put books on top, it's going to be brand new. So
yeah, no, I'm so anal about those things. Like my book has to be in perfect condition. I even like if I have a hardcover, like I'll take the cover off, you know.
Oh, that's one thing I don't do.
I do. I'll take the cover off every time. And actually, I want to say it was Josh who had a he 3D prints everything, and I think he had like a book cover holder that he 3D printed that like you can place it on while you're reading your book. So yeah, right. I do that too.
Tell him to 3D print a book cradle for you. So you'll have it holding for you, so you don't have to hold it.
That's a good idea. I will, but right now I am the worst. He probably had like such a long list of things to print for me. I told him I have to buy myself a 3D printer because I want to make everything, literally.
Man, if I had a 3D printer, I would have been making everything under the sun.
Me too. I buy, so for my bookshelf, like I love buying bookshelf decor, and I feel like everything that I buy is 3D printed. So if I had a 3D printer, my bookshelf would be covered in like really cool decor. So
I'll be making a lot of Power Ranger like weapons and stuff.
That would be really cool. I got I'm going to show you this. I'll pull it out of my. So I got this for fourth wing. I got this
Gentle.
at MegaCon. I don't know.
That is awesome. Taryn and Ardana.
Hold on. Let me see if I can take my blurred screen. I'm just in my office. That's okay. But
That is badass.
isn't that so cool?
So that's Taryn, Ardana, and who's the one else? Sigale.
Yeah, I'm
That is really
literally
cool.
obsessed, and it's cool because it goes between my books, so it looks like they're coming out, like coming right out of the books. And
That's awesome.
yeah, and I got that at MegaCon. They sold like all types of book nooks. But yeah, that's what I would be doing. If I had a 3D printer, I would literally be making
All that stuff.
things like this.
David Dragon, Ride a Wing Leader. That's funny.
Yeah. I'd have all those types of things. I love them. I've got issues.
No. But yeah, so it's been really fun having you on. If you want to do this again next time, definitely let me know. We'll love to have you back on again. So
Yeah, absolutely.
So for all the people who's listening on, if you want to put out your TikTok handle or wherever they can find you.
Yeah, so you can find me on the Booktok under Read with Steffi. And yeah, I mean, you'll see a lot of really cool stuff on there because I feel like I'm always giving the best sales, so you always know where to buy your books. Making silly dances for my fairy mail.
That last one, how long did it take you to record that whole thing?
My God. So they don't take me so long to record, maybe like 30 minutes, but it takes me forever to edit them. Forever. Like probably like 4 or 5 hours of editing.
My goodness.
It's a lot. So like I have already 2 recorded fairy mail openings that I have to post, and the only reason they haven't been posted is because I don't have the editing time. Like it's so long. So I obviously reach out to the people who have sent me the fairy mail and thank them profusely and tell them, hey, like the video will be out. It'll just take a little. Yeah. Listen, thank you so much for having me on here. It really was so much fun. I'd absolutely love to do it again.
I'll never let you go.